Winning is not something that happens outside of you. It happens inside first. Before success appears in results, it appears in thought. Before achievement becomes visible, it becomes a mindset. Most people think winners are born different, smarter, luckier, more confident. But the truth is quieter. Winners are shaped by how they think, especially when no one is watching. A winning mind is not a mind that never fails. It is a mind that does not surrender to failure. It does not panic under pressure. It does not collapse after loss. It does not give up control to emotion. Winning begins the moment you decide that circumstances will not decide who you become. There's a story of two people facing the same setback. Both failed. Both felt disappointment. Both felt fear. One said, "This proves I'm not good enough." The other said, "This shows me what I need to improve." Same situation, different thinking. One stayed stuck. The other grew stronger. That difference is the winning mindset. Thinking like a winner starts with responsibility. Winners do not waste energy blaming. They don't blame luck. They don't blame people. They don't blame timing. They ask a different question. What can I control right now? That question alone shifts power back into their hands. There was a man who lost his job unexpectedly. Fear rushed in. Doubt followed. For weeks, he could have stayed angry. He could have stayed bitter. He could have stayed frozen. Instead, he asked himself one question every morning. What can I do today to move forward? Some days it was learning. Some days it was applying. Some days it was improving himself. Months later, his life looked completely different. The job loss didn't define him. His response did. A winning mind understands this truth. You don't control outcomes. You control effort, attitude, and consistency. And those three shape outcomes over time. Many people wait to feel confident before acting. Winners act before confidence arrives. Confidence is not the cause of action. It is the reward for showing up repeatedly. There is a woman who feared public speaking. Her voice shook. Her heart raced. She could have avoided it forever. Instead, she chose to face it again and again, not perfectly, but consistently. Over time, fear softened. Skill improved. Confidence followed. She didn't wait to feel like a winner. She acted like one first. Thinking like a winner also means controlling your inner dialogue. Most people lose battles in their own mind before life even tests them. I can't do this. I always fail. I'm not like them. A winning mind speaks differently. This is hard, but I can handle it. I'm learning. I'll improve. The words you repeat become the beliefs you live by. There was a young man who struggled academically. Every failure reinforced a belief, I'm not smart. One day, a mentor told him something simple. You are not bad at learning. You just haven't learned how to learn yet. That single thought changed everything. He stopped seeing mistakes as proof of weakness. He saw them as feedback. Years later, his results shocked even himself. The mind won before the exam ever did. A winning mindset does not chase comfort. It chases growth. Comfort feels good now. Growth feels good later. Winners understand delayed gratification. They train when it's boring. They work when it's uncomfortable. They stay disciplined when motivation disappears. That discipline compounds quietly. There was a story of an athlete who trained when no one was watching. Early mornings, late nights, no applause. People saw success overnight. They didn't see the years of unseen effort. Winning minds are built in silence. Thinking like a winner also means calm under pressure. Pressure breaks unprepared minds. Prepared minds become sharper. Winners breathe before reacting. They pause before responding. They think clearly when others panic. Calm is not weakness. Calm is control.
A businessman once said, "The moment I stopped reacting emotionally, my decisions improved." That moment changed his results. Winners also understand patience. They don't quit because progress is slow. They don't panic because results are delayed. They trust the process. They know that consistency beats intensity. A winning mind does not compare constantly. Comparison steals focus. Focus builds mastery. Winners compete with who they were yesterday, not with someone else's highlight reel. There was a creator who grew slowly. Others surpassed him quickly. He stayed consistent. He refined his craft. He ignored noise. Years later, his work outlasted many faster successes. Winning minds play the long game. Thinking like a winner means accepting failure without identity collapse. Failure is an event, not a definition. Winners feel disappointment, but they don't live there. They reflect, they adjust, they return stronger. There is a quiet confidence that grows when you trust your ability to recover. Winners don't fear falling, they trust their ability to stand again. A winning mindset also respects preparation. Luck favors the prepared mind. Opportunity comes unexpectedly. Preparation determines the outcome. Winners also protect their environment. They limit negativity. They choose their inputs carefully. They protect focus. The mind absorbs what surrounds it. Thinking like a winner means choosing discipline over excuses. Excuses feel comforting. Discipline feels demanding. But discipline builds freedom. Winners don't need to win every moment. They need to keep going. They understand that losing a battle does not mean losing the war.
A winning mind understands something most people overlook. You don't win by avoiding difficulty. You win by learning how to face it without losing yourself. Difficulty is not the enemy. Uncontrolled thinking is. When pressure appears, most minds tighten. They rush, they panic, they overreact. A winning mind slows down. It breathes. It observes. It chooses its response carefully. This ability alone separates leaders from followers. There's a story of a person who faced repeated rejection, applications denied, ideas ignored, efforts unnoticed. Each rejection could have been interpreted as a sign to quit, and many would have. Instead, they traded rejection as information. What needs improvement? What can be refined? What skill must be sharpened? Over time, rejection became training, and when opportunity finally arrived, they were ready. The winning mind does not personalize rejection, it analyzes it. Thinking like a winner also means mastering emotional control. Winners feel emotions deeply. They feel fear. They feel frustration. They feel doubt. But they don't allow emotions to drive decisions. They observe emotions like weather, passing, temporary. This emotional separation creates clarity. There was a leader who once admitted, "I stopped making decisions when emotional." That single discipline changed everything. Calm decisions create strong outcomes. A winning mind also understands focus. Focus is power. Every distraction drains it. Every unnecessary reaction weakens it. Winners protect their focus fiercely. They don't give attention to everything. They don't react to every opinion. They don't chase every opportunity. They choose. There is someone who once tried to do everything at once. Multiple goals, multiple paths, multiple distractions. Progress was slow. The moment they simplified, everything accelerated. A winning mind chooses depth over scattered effort. Thinking like a winner also means redefining failure. Failure is not the opposite of winning. It is part of it. The real failure is refusing to learn. Winners ask, "What did this teach me? What will I do differently next time?" This mindset turns setbacks into stepping stones. There was an athlete who lost an important match.
The loss hurt deeply, but instead of avoiding the memory, they studied it. Every mistake became insight. Every weakness became a training point. The next time they competed, they were stronger. Loss prepared the win. A winning mind also respects patience. It does not rush results. It does not panic during slow seasons. It understands that growth is often invisible before it becomes undeniable. Patience keeps effort alive. There is a creator who worked quietly for years. No recognition, no praise. Many quit around them. They stayed. One day, their work reached the right audience. What looked like sudden success was built over long silence. Winning minds stay when others leave. Thinking like a winner also means mastering self-talk. Your mind listens to every word you say internally. When pressure hits, do you say, "I can't handle this?" Or do you say, "This is difficult, but I'm capable"? That difference shapes behavior instantly. A winning mind speaks with honesty and strength, not false positivity, not denial, clear, constructive truth. Winners also learn to detach from outcomes. They commit fully to effort, but they don't cling emotionally to results. This detachment reduces fear, and when fear reduces, performance improves. There is a business owner who stopped obsessing over results. They focused on process instead. Quality improved. Consistency improved. Results followed naturally. Thinking like a winner means choosing long-term thinking. Short-term pleasure feels tempting. Long-term growth feels demanding. Winners delay gratification. They invest effort today for freedom tomorrow. A winning mind also knows when to rest. Rest is strategic, not avoidance. Winners recover intentionally so they can perform consistently. Burnout is not strength. Balance sustains success. You begin to notice something when you adopt a winning mindset. You become calmer, more focused, more resilient. You stop reacting to life and start directing it.
A winning mind understands that identity comes before results. Most people wait for success to feel like winners. Winners decide who they are before success arrives. They act like disciplined people before discipline feels natural. They think like focused people before focus becomes easy. They behave like resilient people before resilience is tested. Identity shapes behavior. Behavior shapes outcomes. When you see yourself as someone who follows through, your actions align naturally. There is a story of a person who always doubted themselves. They questioned every decision. They hesitated at every opportunity. One day, they made a quiet decision. They decided to act as someone who trusts themselves. They didn't suddenly feel fearless, but they stopped retreating. Over time, confidence formed, not from success, but from self-trust. Winning begins with believing in your ability to adapt. A winning mind is not obsessed with being right. It is obsessed with learning. Ego blocks growth. Curiosity fuels it. Winners listen. They observe. They adjust. They don't defend mistakes. They correct them. There was a professional who failed publicly early in their career. Instead of hiding, they studied the failure. They asked uncomfortable questions. They accepted uncomfortable truths. Years later, their improvements surprised everyone. The mind that learns wins more than the mind that protects pride. Thinking like a winner also means regulating energy. Energy matters more than motivation. Winners protect sleep. They respect recovery. They manage stress intentionally. A tired mind loses clarity. A rested mind wins quietly. You begin to notice that winners don't live in extremes. They don't work endlessly without rest. They don't rest endlessly without purpose. They find a rhythm. That rhythm creates sustainability. A winning mind also knows when to say no.
No to distractions. No to draining environments. No to habits that weaken focus. Every no protects a yes. There was a person who kept saying yes to everything: opportunities, requests, distractions. Progress was slow. The moment they simplified their life, clarity appeared. Winning requires selectivity. Thinking like a winner means training attention. What you focus on expands. Winners focus on solutions instead of problems. They focus on effort instead of excuses. They focus on progress instead of perfection. This focus trains the brain to look forward. A winning mind also understands resilience. Resilience is not toughness without feeling. It is recovery without quitting. Winners feel setbacks. They feel disappointment. But they don't stay there. They return stronger. There was an entrepreneur who faced multiple failures. Each time they paused, reflected, adjusted. Eventually, experience turned into advantage. Failure refined their thinking. Thinking like a winner also means embracing responsibility. Responsibility creates control. Control creates confidence. When you take responsibility, you stop feeling helpless. You start moving intentionally. A winning mind also respects preparation. Preparation reduces fear. When you prepare deeply, uncertainty becomes manageable. Confidence grows from readiness. You begin to notice a shift. Challenges feel less threatening. Pressure feels more manageable because your mind is trained, not reactive. A winning mindset does not seek ease. It seeks growth. Growth strengthens the mind. There is a calm in knowing that whatever happens, you will respond intelligently. That calm is power. You begin to trust yourself. Trust your ability to learn. Trust your ability to recover. Trust your ability to continue. That trust becomes your foundation.
A winning mind understands that progress is not always visible. There will be seasons where effort feels unnoticed, where results lag behind work, where doubt whispers louder than confidence. Winners do not panic in these moments. They stay steady. They trust that consistency is doing its work beneath the surface. Just like roots grow underground before a tree rises above the soil, a winning mindset develops quietly before success appears. There is a story of a person who trained every day without recognition. No applause, no encouragement, just routine. Friends questioned their dedication. Others mocked their persistence. They stayed. When opportunity finally arrived, they were ready in ways others were not. Winning minds prepare even when no one is watching. Thinking like a winner also means mastering patience with yourself. Growth takes time. Learning takes repetition. Change takes consistency. Winners do not shame themselves for slow progress. They respect the process. Self-compassion fuels perseverance. A winning mind also understands that discipline creates confidence. Not motivation, not inspiration. Confidence grows from evidence. Evidence that you show up. Evidence that you keep going. Evidence that you don't quit when it's uncomfortable. Each small win strengthens belief. There was someone who doubted their ability constantly. They waited to feel confident before acting. Nothing changed. The moment they acted despite doubt, their confidence began to rise. Confidence followed action, not the other way around. Thinking like a winner also means training response, not reaction. Life will test you. Unexpected problems will appear. Pressure will rise. Reactive minds explode or collapse. Winning minds pause. They ask, what is the best response right now? That pause creates power. There is a leader who once reacted emotionally to every setback. Stress controlled decisions. Fear shaped outcomes. When they learned to pause before responding, clarity replaced chaos. Their leadership improved not through force, but through calm thinking. A winning mind also learns to separate effort from outcome. You can do everything right and still face setbacks.
Winners don't let outcomes shake their identity. They measure success by integrity of effort. That internal stability allows long-term consistency. Thinking like a winner also means developing mental toughness. Mental toughness is not aggression, it is endurance. It is the ability to stay present during difficulty without surrendering to despair. It is the ability to continue even when motivation fades. There was an athlete who faced repeated injuries. Many would have quit. They adjusted. They trained differently. They stayed patient. Their comeback became stronger than their setback. Winning minds adapt instead of surrender. A winning mind also understands that failure is not personal. Failure is feedback. When you stop taking failure personally, you start using it strategically. This shift changes everything. Thinking like a winner means choosing clarity over chaos. You simplify your goals. You simplify your routines. You simplify your thinking. Complexity overwhelms. Simplicity sharpens focus. There is someone who once tried to chase everything. They were busy but unfulfilled. When they narrowed their focus, results improved. Winning requires direction. You also learn to protect your mental environment. What you watch, what you listen to, what you consume mentally. Winners are intentional about inputs. Your mind becomes what it absorbs. A winning mindset also includes humility. Winners know they don't know everything. They remain teachable. Learning never stops. There is strength in admitting ignorance because it opens the door to growth. Thinking like a winner means understanding that success is internal first. Before you win externally, you must win mentally. You must believe you can learn. You must trust you can recover. You must commit to consistency. That belief changes how you show up. It changes how you speak, how you move, how you respond. Winning becomes a habit, not a moment.
Motivation rises and falls. Energy changes. Mood shifts. Winners do not depend on how they feel to decide how they act. They move forward even when enthusiasm is low. They stay consistent even when excitement fades. This consistency becomes their advantage. There was a person who once waited for inspiration to work. Some days, inspiration came. Most days, it didn't. Progress was slow. Eventually, they learned something simple but powerful. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. They began working first. Motivation followed. That shift transformed their results. Thinking like a winner means learning how to reset after setbacks. Everyone falls. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone experiences disappointment. The difference is how quickly you recover. Winners don't stay down. They don't spiral into self-criticism. They pause. They reflect. They return. The ability to reset is a mental skill. There was a competitor who lost an important opportunity. They allowed themselves to feel the disappointment, but they set a boundary. They decided how long they would sit in that emotion. Then they moved forward. That discipline protected their momentum. A winning mind also understands that emotions are information, not commands. Feeling fear does not mean stop. Feeling doubt does not mean quit. Feeling stress does not mean failure. Winners acknowledge emotions without obeying them. This emotional intelligence keeps them grounded. Thinking like a winner means choosing long-term clarity over short-term relief. Distractions feel comforting. Avoidance feels easy. But winners resist temporary escape. They face discomfort directly because they understand the cost of delay. There is a person who avoided difficult tasks for years. They distracted themselves constantly. Stress followed them everywhere. The moment they faced what they were avoiding, relief appeared. Winning minds confront rather than escape. A winning mindset also understands mental rehearsal. Winners visualize success.
not fantasizing, but preparing. They imagine challenges. They imagine pressure. They imagine responding calmly. When reality arrives, the mind feels familiar with the situation. Preparation creates confidence. There was an athlete who visualized difficult moments repeatedly. When those moments came, they stayed calm. The mind had already been there. Thinking like a winner means protecting self-belief during criticism. Not all criticism is useful. Not all opinions are relevant. Winners filter feedback carefully. They take what improves them. They release what distracts them. This selective listening preserves confidence. A winning mind also understands momentum. Momentum builds through small wins, completing tasks, keeping promises to yourself, following through. Each completed action strengthens belief. There is power in finishing what you start, even small things. Completion trains the brain to expect success. Thinking like a winner means embracing responsibility without pressure. Responsibility gives direction. When you own your choices, you stop feeling powerless. That ownership builds confidence. A winning mindset is calm, not frantic. Urgency without panic. Focus without tension. This balance allows consistent performance. You begin to notice that winners are rarely rushed. They move steadily. They think clearly. They act deliberately. That steadiness compounds over time. Thinking like a winner means respecting rest as part of performance. Rest is strategic. Without recovery, clarity fades. Winners rest to return stronger. There is strength in knowing when to pause and wisdom in knowing when to push. A winning mind also stays grounded during success. It does not become careless. It does not lose discipline. It respects progress and continues refining. Success does not change winners. It reveals them. You begin to understand that winning is not about defeating others. It is about mastering yourself, your thoughts, your reactions, your consistency. That mastery creates results.
A winning mind understands uncertainty. Life will never feel fully certain. There will always be unknowns. There will always be risk. Winners don't wait for certainty. They learn to move with uncertainty. They understand that clarity often comes after action, not before. There is a person who delayed important decisions because they wanted guarantees. They wanted proof it would work. They wanted reassurance it would be safe. Years passed. Another person stepped forward without guarantees. They accepted risk. They trusted learning. Their life moved forward. Winning minds choose progress over certainty. Thinking like a winner also means managing fear correctly. Fear is not a stop sign. It is a signal that something matters, a signal that growth is near. Winners feel fear and move anyway. They don't eliminate fear, they outgrow it. There was someone who feared being seen trying. They feared judgment more than failure. The day they decided to act despite fear, their confidence changed. Not because fear disappeared, but because courage took control. Winning minds choose courage repeatedly. A winning mind also understands discipline as identity. Discipline is not something you force occasionally. It is something you become. You don't ask every day whether you'll show up. You simply do. That simplicity reduces mental friction. There is a calm strength in routine. Routines free the mind from constant decision-making. When discipline becomes automatic, energy shifts toward creativity and growth. Thinking like a winner means controlling attention. Where attention goes, energy follows. Winners train attention deliberately. They don't give their mind to every distraction. They don't react to every stimulus. They choose what deserves focus.
There was someone who overwhelmed by constant information, news, opinions, noise. The moment they reduced input, clarity returned. Winning minds protect mental space. A winning mindset also embraces humility. Winners don't assume they've arrived. They stay open to learning. Every challenge teaches something. Every mistake sharpens awareness. Ego stops growth. Humility sustains it. There is strength in saying, "I can improve." That sentence keeps the mind flexible. Thinking like a winner means understanding pressure. Pressure exposes preparation. When pressure arrives, a trained mind becomes calm. An untrained mind panics. Preparation turns pressure into performance. There was a professional who practiced under simulated stress. When real stress arrived, they performed naturally. Their mind had been there before. A winning mind also understands that consistency builds identity. You become what you repeatedly do. Each disciplined action strengthens the winning identity. Over time, that identity becomes automatic. Thinking like a winner means respecting recovery. Burnout destroys clarity. Winners rest intentionally, not excessively. They recover to perform again. You begin to notice a shift. Challenges no longer feel overwhelming. Setbacks no longer feel personal. You respond instead of react. That response is power. A winning mindset also values simplicity. Clear goals, simple routines, focused effort. Complexity distracts. Simplicity sharpens. There is someone who simplified their life drastically. Fewer commitments, clear priorities. Their performance improved. Winning minds reduce noise to amplify results. Thinking like a winner means separating self-worth from outcomes. You are not your results. You are your effort, integrity, and consistency. This separation creates emotional stability. When outcomes fluctuate, identity remains stable. That stability sustains progress. A winning mind also understands that success is cyclical. There will be growth, there will be plateaus. Winners don't quit during plateaus. They adjust. Plateaus are preparation stages. You begin to realize something powerful. Winning is not dramatic. It is quiet. It is built in daily discipline, in controlled thinking, in emotional regulation. You don't need to win every moment. You need to keep your mind strong. A strong mind wins eventually.
They are signals to adjust. When something doesn't work, winners don't collapse. They become curious. They ask themselves, what can be improved? What can be refined? What can be learned? This curiosity keeps momentum alive. There was someone who failed repeatedly in the same area of life. Each failure felt heavier than the last. At first, they reacted emotionally. Frustration, self-doubt, anger. Eventually, something shifted. They stopped asking why this kept happening to them and started asking how they could approach it differently. That question changed everything. Winning minds replace frustration with curiosity. Thinking like a winner also means understanding rhythm. Life is not meant to be lived at maximum intensity all the time. There are moments to push, moments to pause, moments to reflect. Winners sense these rhythms and respect them. They know when to accelerate and when to recover. This awareness prevents burnout and preserves clarity. A winning mind does not fear slow progress. Slow progress still moves forward. Many people quit because growth feels invisible. Winners continue because they trust the process. They understand that consistency compounds quietly. There was a person who practiced a skill daily with no visible improvement. Weeks passed, then months. One day, something clicked. The improvement looked sudden, but it was built over time. Winning minds stay patient during invisible growth.
Thinking like a winner also means mastering self-regulation. Winners manage stress intentionally. They don't ignore it. They don't let it control them. They breathe. They reset. They refocus. This regulation keeps the mind sharp under pressure. There was a professional who used to panic during high-stakes moments. Mistakes followed. They trained calm, breathing, focus. Over time, pressure no longer disrupted performance. Calm became a competitive advantage. A winning mindset also understands that confidence grows from preparation. Preparation reduces uncertainty. Uncertainty fuels fear. When you prepare deeply, you trust yourself more. That trust changes how you show up. Thinking like a winner means training the mind daily. Just as muscles strengthen with use, the mind strengthens with intentional practice. Positive self-talk, focus training, reflection. These practices build mental resilience. There is someone who began each day by reminding themselves what they were working toward. That clarity anchored their actions. Winning minds keep purpose close. A winning mind also knows how to let go. Let go of mistakes after learning. Let go of outcomes after effort. Let go of comparisons. Holding on to unnecessary weight slows progress. There is strength in emotional flexibility. Winners can adapt to change quickly. They don't cling rigidly to one plan. They adjust without losing direction. Thinking like a winner means challenges or training. Every obstacle strengthens the mind if approached correctly. Resistance builds resilience. A winning mindset also embraces repetition. Repetition builds mastery. Doing the same right thing consistently creates extraordinary results. There is calm confidence in knowing that you are improving daily, not dramatically, but steadily. Winning minds don't chase perfection, they chase progress. Progress keeps motivation alive. Thinking like a winner means building internal stability. When your mind is stable, external chaos loses power. You remain centered. There is clarity in knowing that winning is not about dominance, it is about discipline, not about superiority, about self-mastery. You begin to notice that as your thinking strengthens, life feels more manageable, challenges feel solvable, pressure feels navigable. That mental strength is the real victory.
Your thoughts are trained, not fixed. No one is born thinking like a winner. Winning thinking is learned through repetition, awareness, and discipline. Every thought you allow strengthens a pathway. Every thought you challenge weakens one. Winners are intentional about what they think. There was a person who constantly imagined failure. Before trying, they pictured everything going wrong. Before speaking, they imagined judgment. Before starting, they imagined loss. Their mind was trained for defeat. One day, they decided to change one habit. They stopped predicting disaster. Instead, they asked, "What if this works?" Not optimism, possibility. That single shift changed how they acted. Winning minds don't assume success, they allow for it. Thinking like a winner also means accepting responsibility for your inner state. You may not control what happens to you, but you control how long you stay stuck in it. Winners feel disappointment, but they don't build homes inside it. They process emotions, then move forward. There is a quiet strength in emotional recovery. Some people fall and stay down emotionally for weeks. Winners recover faster, not because they are cold, but because they are practiced. They know pain passes when it's not resisted. A winning mind also understands momentum. Momentum is fragile. It grows when protected and dies when ignored. Winners protect momentum with small actions. Even on difficult days, they do something. That something keeps identity intact. There was a person who felt overwhelmed by a large goal.
Instead of quitting, they focused on the next small step. Day after day, those small steps created movement. Winning minds break pressure into progress. Thinking like a winner means trusting process over emotion. Emotions change daily. Process stays stable. Winners follow their process even when they don't feel like it. That trust builds resilience. A winning mindset also includes self-respect. Winners do not speak to themselves harshly. They correct themselves without cruelty. Harshness weakens motivation. Respect sustains effort. There is a person who pushed themselves through shame. They burned out. When they replaced shame with discipline, consistency improved. Winning minds guide themselves, not punish themselves. Thinking like a winner means recognizing mental fatigue. Mental fatigue clouds judgment. Winners rest before mistakes accumulate. They know when to pause. This awareness preserves clarity. A winning mind also understands that growth is uncomfortable. Discomfort does not mean danger. It means expansion. Winners lean into discomfort without panic. There was someone who avoided discomfort for years. Progress stalled. When they embraced discomfort deliberately, growth accelerated. Winning minds reframe discomfort as training. Thinking like a winner means separating identity from momentary performance. A bad day does not define you. A mistake does not erase progress. Winners do not collapse their identity based on one moment. This stability keeps confidence intact. A winning mindset also includes patience with others. Winners don't waste energy arguing. They conserve energy for growth. They choose peace over ego. There is power in knowing when silence is strength. Thinking like a winner means protecting long-term vision. Short-term distractions will appear. Short-term temptations will test you. Winners remember why they started. That memory anchors discipline. A winning mind also stays curious. Curiosity keeps learning alive. Learning keeps growth alive. The moment learning stops, winning stops. You begin to realize that winning is not a destination. It is a way of thinking, a way of responding, a way of continuing. The strongest winners are not aggressive. They are consistent, not loud, focused, not perfect, persistent. As your thinking changes, your behavior changes. As your behavior changes, your results follow. This is the quiet power of a winning mind.
A winning mind understands that doubt will visit. It always does. Doubt is not a sign you are failing. It is a sign you are stretching beyond what is familiar. Winners don't wait for doubt to disappear. They learn how to walk with it. They don't argue with doubt. They don't obey it. They acknowledge it and continue anyway. There was someone who doubted themselves at every new level. Each time progress appeared, fear followed. Instead of retreating, they asked a simple question. What would I do today if I trusted myself just a little more? That question guided action. Action built evidence. Evidence softened doubt. Winning minds collect evidence, not excuses. Thinking like a winner also means respecting momentum after success. Success can be dangerous if it leads to comfort. Comfort dulls discipline. Winners stay humble when things go well. They continue their routines. They keep refining. They understand that discipline is what created success, and discipline is what sustains it. There was someone who reached an important milestone and relaxed too soon. Progress slowed. Confidence faded. When they returned to their habits, momentum returned. Winning minds don't abandon the process after results appear. A winning mind also knows how to simplify under pressure. Pressure can clutter thinking. Too many options, too many reactions. Winners narrow focus. They ask, what matters most right now? That clarity cuts through chaos. There was a professional who faced an overwhelming situation. Deadlines,
expectations, stress. Instead of panicking, they focused on one task at a time, one action, then the next. The storm passed. Winning minds break complexity into clarity. Thinking like a winner means building tolerance for boredom. Growth is not always exciting. Repetition feels dull. Many quit because they confuse boredom with stagnation. Winners stay. They understand mastery is built in repetition. There is a calm strength in doing the same disciplined thing even when it feels ordinary. That ordinary effort compounds into extraordinary results. A winning mind also understands self-awareness. Winners notice when their thinking slips, when negativity creeps in, when focus fades. They don't judge themselves, they correct gently. Awareness prevents downward spirals. There was someone who noticed they became self-critical under stress. Instead of pushing harder, they adjusted their inner dialogue. Performance improved. Winning minds adjust internally before forcing externally. Thinking like a winner means respecting the power of rest. Rest is not laziness, it is strategic recovery. Without rest, clarity erodes. With rest, focus sharpens. Winners recover deliberately. A winning mindset also understands legacy. Winners think beyond immediate results. They think in years, not days. They ask, what kind of person am I becoming? That question guides choices. There is power in aligning actions with the person you want to be long-term. That alignment keeps motivation alive. Thinking like a winner means letting go of comparison. Comparison steals presence. Presence fuels performance. Winners stay focused on their path. A winning mind also values integrity. Doing the right thing when it's difficult. Staying consistent when it's inconvenient. Integrity strengthens identity. You begin to realize that winning is not dramatic. It is quiet clarity, steady discipline, emotional control, consistent effort. The mind that wins is trained daily, through attention, through reflection, through discipline. This training compounds. You don't need to win every day. You need to keep your thinking strong. Strong thinking sustains effort. Effort creates results.